So, hello on Friday, Permaculture Vibes, watch, learn, and grow. And my name is Lena, and today I will share with you one of my projects I have done in 2020. And could be nice if I can get the feedback. Is it okay with sound and with video? Um, Maybe we can wait a couple of minutes until people will join. Yeah, and will be my first part of presentation, and the next part of presentation will be our course which is happening in Avnia, and I will be the main facilitator on this course, so I will be selling my course. And I also will share some tips during the presentation of the course, which you can use for permaculture design. So stay with us. Yeah. Bob, do you see how it works with sound and everything?
Nobody's replying, so I think it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So I will start.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was a Sinitsville. It's a small hotel, and they wanted me to create a garden for them, and there were lots of um, output data because they wanted it to be nice and and have some production, and also space for creativity and just some activities, and also minimal maintenance. But for now I can say that we have done a good job, and it happened like we created all the places um, for people and also for all kind of lives in the garden. So yeah, and you can see here, you can see the just the criteria about the garden: salability, minimal maintenance, restore and maintain soil fertility and garden health using natural methods, high productivity of the garden for the sale of surpluses, self-sufficient garden, and high aesthetics due to the use of the garden for tourist purposes, a comfortable microclimate for all living beings, and space for creativity and implementation of tourist activities, practices, master classes, and so on. And this project was and is really close to my heart because I met all of the family of these people who implemented this garden. So usually, like how it works, usually if I do design, I ask some people to help me, like I just pay salary and they work. But here on this project, it was family who helped the customers to plant the garden. And it was really nice, and was really cozy to see all the three ages. Bob, how to say it? Like not ages,
Generations.
but generation. Yeah, exactly. Like three generations, like grandmother and grandfather, and then adults, and then like their kids. And yeah, it was really nice that they were 14, I think, 14 like relatives all together. And then they celebrated, it's like a wedding afterwards. So yeah, it just stay in my heart, this project. So yeah. And first we have done plan, and we did two or three variation of the plan, because we were trying to implement all of the ideas and all to meet all of the needs they had. So we discussed it, and we had at least two variation of the plan, and then it's it's me in the middle, and I you can see the final design in my hands. And now I want to open slide number 9. Yeah, and here you can see like it was laminated because it was autumn and it was rainy weather and wet and so on. So it's a really good idea to laminate the dendroplane plan, which you are going to use. And I have no I have only these pictures of the plant because it was lost when I moved from Ukraine. So I just want to show you that this is like rounded. You can see this rounded structure. It's a heat trap, and you can see two labyrinths with bushes. It was raspberry and blackberry, and there is a small lawn in between, and there is another lawn near the heat trap. And they have some open space around the buildings. But everything else was occupied with plants. And I want to show you more about heat trap. Like many element permaculture, it has different functions, like it's multifunctional. One of the idea was to create a place for heat loving plants, and also the land was the site was really flat, and you can just stand in another corner and see everything. And it was not really interesting to see everything. And of course plants will grow and they hide, and they then create some niche in the plot. But still we decided to have a immediate solution for this, and create this hidden space. And also we created different conditions to plant different plants. For example, on top of this heat trap, we planted more like dry plants and windbreak. And then inside we put more like actually plants which needs more a protected place, more warm place, and so on. And of course we also used the plants like nitrogen fixers, plants for bees, and yeah, and just to attract more insects and more life in the garden. Here you can see this process of implementation, the heat trap. And first it was marking, so you need to know where it will be, like to move the picture kind of from the scratch to the ground, to the side. And then you need to separate the good soil from top part, and then do all the earthwork, and then put it back. So like top part of the soil needs to be on top all the time, because usually it's the most it's the best soil and the most rich soil and fertilized soil on top, because of the plants. And when roots die and like all the life, it's most of the time it's like top part of the soil. So that's why we took all the soil, 30 centimeters of the soil, and put it just in a pile. And then we do a shaft, and then we put the soil on top again. And you can see the difference actually between the second picture, and you can see like black soil and just sand. I couldn't say even that it's soil, it's just sand. And the sand was like on the bottom part, and this black soil, it was from the top part. Then you can see the difference, and you can imagine what we can like have if we will mix them. And of course, we use optical level. I don't see this picture, but this type of works, it needs to be like on level, on contour line. So of course we use like equipment, special equipment for this. Yeah. And the next slide will be, and you can see our heat trap on the back. And then here you can see how we use the sand to mark the like different garden elements. And it's really comfortable. It's really easy to use sand to mark the some part of the land. And first you can use, especially if you have like some waves or rounded lines, you can use garden hose and then just put it on the ground and see is it look nice. You can see from different direction and see if it's nice or change something. And then if it's ready, you can just put sand on the ground, and that's how you can get marking. Of course, you can use also sticks or bricks, even something. But for me, it's the best way. It's start with garden hose and then finish with sand. Yeah, and after earthworks, we planted plants, and we use mycorrhiza, and we use biochar in the holes when we dig a hole and put like we soak all the seedling in mycorrhiza, and then we put biochar and some fertilizers in the holes with plants. And yeah, so we just gave for plants good start, because most of the plants was bare rooted, and you know that it's much more difficult to plant them and to like help them to survive when they are bare rooted. But we have really good percentage of live plants. It was like we planted about 500 plants, and around like 4 or 5 died. So it's really good results for the garden. And of course, I can say that the customers, they were really like efficient. They have done all the recommendation I had for them. So of course, you cannot just put the plants in the soil and wait for that they will grow. So they water them. We did weeding and so on. Of course. Yeah, and you have already seen the like plan, and it's really good idea to laminate it. You can also laminate the list of the plant. Sometimes it's comfortable just to take a list and come and check if everything like right. And because usually if you do the big project, you cannot find all the plants right away, because usually it's, if it's permaculture garden, it's biodiversity, and you're trying to find as much species as possible. So you order them from different places, and sometimes it's needed just to organize them to check is everything here and so on. So you can also laminate the list of the plants and then just check them on the site. Yeah, and they have a big fruit garden. lots of garden trees, and it's the example how you could organize a big garden, because if it's a kind of small garden, you can use guilds. You can find out about them in permaculture. So there are some example of the guilds, but if it's bigger garden, if you have more than 20 trees, it's really difficult to maintain them if they are with, like guilds. So that's why I use um, kind of alley or rows for the plants. And for example, first this windbreak function, and then they will kind of cover other plants from some extra sun or rain or something like this. So we will have them, but rarely, because we don't create forest, we create a garden, so we need more sun for our trees and bushes, so we will have enough harvest. And in the rows, you can have fruit trees, and you kind of mix them with each other. For example, stone trees peaches, apricots, or plums. Then seeds trees like apples, pears, and others. And then the next plant is nitrogen fixer. And you can see on the picture that, like, for example, first it's a stone, second seed, and third nitrogen fixer. And then you start with the beginning. Again, stone, seed, and nitrogen fixers. It really helps because you kind of hide them, and it's really difficult for insects to find the next plant, and they don't move so easily like in monocultural garden. And in between, so we use this row, like in between the trees, you can have a couple of fruit bushes, and also between fruit bushes and trees, some spicy and nitrogen fixers, fixing herbs, and ground cover crops. So you kind of create all the layers of forest garden, and of course you cover the soil with plants, so it will not be bare or empty. Yeah, and that's how we can create a big, like, commercial fruit garden. And between the rows with trees, you can also grow vegetables. It depends if you want to do it permanently. You need to have around 8 meters between the rows. And if you just you can use it at the beginning when the trees are small, and then when they are growing, like, it could be 4 meters in between. So just we be to, like, to maintain them. Yeah, and I'm glad to share with you some first results from this garden, because they already got first um, berries, and they were really glad to share with me. And you can see the picture from this garden. This is raspberry, blueberry, and honeysuckle. I hope, like, uh, this is the right name in English. Yeah, and here also, like, another kind of raspberry and blackberry also. Yeah, and here I have some links about how we created this garden, and I just want to share more pictures about it. And this picture you have already seen. And yeah, like, it's also a process of creating. It's from my own page. I described all the process and how it was for me. This article in Ukraine, but of course you can use translator and check it and read it. Okay, it's here. Yeah, this is optical level, and when you do some structures in permaculture, when you do some earthwork, it's really easy and fast to use optical level. I don't really like a frame. I used it on my first projects, but then I realized that it's more simple and fast to use optical level. So that's why, it's more efficient also. Yeah, and this our structure you have already seen, and we are happy that we have done work. And here you can see some seedlings, which is not really good, but it's also happens on the project when you yeah, and when you want to create this biodiversity and you try to find some plants. And this is like recommendation for you when you order the plants from unknown nurseries. You can just ask them to send the photo of their plants. It could help you to imagine how it can look like. Yeah, this is the plan and the list of the plants. And of course, when you have a list in, you need to adjust of the what you have in the nurseries. So sometimes there is like changes, and usually if it's a list of plants, I usually have kind of double. At least for some plants, it's for rare crops. I have 2 3 variation what it could be, because then you can just like to keep the same function but to choose another plant in the nursery. Yeah, this is the customers. They are growing like a tree together in the middle of the lawn. Yeah, this is how we plant the blueberry. So we created special conditions for them because you need to use not like normal soil, but special kind of soil for them. And you have seen the result. It works well with them. Yeah, it's planting some trees. And yeah, okay, I think it's all for this one. We can go to the next link. It's from the site, from the page from, like, it's a picture from customers page. So they have really good and nice berries that year. Yeah, okay. So I will come back to my presentation. Okay. Oh, yeah. And I have feedback from them. We worked with Helena Marchenko. From Elena's side, it was work from scratch and turnkey. Very detailed design of the garden based on our wishes, preferences, and plans. A careful selection of plants, their combination taking into account the principles of permaculture. This was a new world for us. A beautiful, I'm jumping a little bit, a beautiful, a large scale scene in a huge heat trap for heat loving plants. Considering that we are beginners in gardening, Elena very patiently and in detail laid everything out for us. And then, even after the grandiose landing, there were lots of consultation, advices, and help. And we are also received a detailed garden care plan. Thank you very much, Elena. Our garden has already survived the second winter, and we are admire about it. So you can see that if you are even not like really experienced in the gardening, you can get good results after you have like um, good preparation, like after you have get knowledge from someone. And as you see, I gave them this garden care plan, and based of the plan, they just yeah, have done all the process in the garden, and they get really good results in the garden. So that's why I'm going to the next part of the presentation, and I'm going to present the course which is happening in Avnio, and this is a 3-season course, growing green skills. And what makes this course special, because I live in eco village, Avnio Oasis eco village, and we are living example of simple and sustainable lifestyle, demonstrating how it can be achieved. So that's why you can just join us and learn about it. And the course based on permaculture ethic principles, earth care, people care, and fair share. And of course, the biggest part will be how to take care of earth, and how to grow food, how to find medicine and edible plants in the nature, and how to use them, and also how go through all of these steps of permaculture designing, and how to implement your project with like how usually I say that my goal is to combine the needs of customers with the need of nature, so both sides will be satisfied. So yeah, it's kind of the aim to combine this to our needs and needs of nature. And people care, it will be most about taking care of yourself. It's about healthy food and healthy lifestyle. It's also about acknowledging our needs and taking responsibility about them, and also fair share, how to find this balance of taking and giving. So yeah, basically it's what about this course. And yeah, and the aim of the course is to bridge the gap between theoretical knowledge and the practical implementation of sustainable development goals, permaculture principles, and mindful consum- consumption practices. So yeah, and I already described it, and I want to show you some like some structure about permaculture design dimension on this course, how we will do this. Because like all my projects, they based on some steps of the design, and we also use this step to implement Avno Oasis land design. And on this design, like big design, and we will have like some small parts, like for example design of playground, design of cafe area, design of like walking space, and so on. So based on this small design and their implementation, you can learn more about this process, this step of design, and kind of it's safe way to try, like to design something and to implement it. And you also will get workbook at the end of the course with all of the step and description. So yeah, you just need to fill out some like just doing some task in these steps. You can at the end get your design project. Yeah, so the steps is a collection of information, it where we start, analysis of the received data, and designing for extreme situations, water balance and earthworks, functional design, track network, work with plants, and you can see that work with plants is only like the seventh step. They are in order kind of, so we will not go to the like plants because we need to like to create the like to do earthworks first, to think about this situation like fire or flooding or something like this, and then do functional design, and then only after all of these steps we will go to the plants. Yeah, action of plan and implementation of the project, and feedback and improvement. And you know that this kind of like permaculture design, you can just improve and improve, and because the system is changing, and yeah, you can just change it and improve it again and again. But from another hand, most of people design a plot of land once or twice in their lifetime, so it is necessary to like to be serious, to prepare for this. And this course, for those who do not have money and time to just experiment with a plot or garden or seedling and so on. So yeah, we are just saving your time. If you want like to create and implement project, it will be um, much easy for you. And I want you to just to have some examples about these steps I mentioned. And one of the step, like first step, was collection of information. And how we do this, like it's a small part, I cannot say that it's all, it's just a small part from this step. Collect a collage of several pictures that reflect your dreams. You can use Pinterest as a database of pictures and photos. This is an easy way to imagine what you or customer likes. Like which kind of garden, mixed planting that copy nature, or more tidy garden. You will also have an idea of the style in which the garden will be made. A country garden with wooden elements, a modern one with geometric shapes, and so on. So yeah, sometimes it's difficult for us or for customers to just like say, oh, I want this and this and this. And if we offer him to find the pictures, it's much easy, and he just can send you a pictures. Oh, it's what I want, and you can kind of be aligned with them, with him about this. Yes. um, yeah. So actually, next step will be the analysis of the received data. And for example, one of the exercise of this part will be make a list of the plants you have and what you are going to do with them. So I mean, in your garden, and be careful with the plants you already have. They definitely took root, and they definitely provide mold, shade, a cozy place for growing other plants, and maybe fruits, seeds, and flowers, pollen, nectar. So we need to take into consideration all of this, and it's better to leave the plant and just observe it, and then decide what you're gonna do with this, with it, and yeah. So my idea to save as much plants as possible if you already have them, because yeah, they are big and they are growing already. And you have this kind of table, and filling it, you can understand what do you want to do with them, how they can be useful for you, and maybe you can just transplant in them or prune or something like this, and you can just keep them. Yeah, and for example, step six, and this is track network. And when you have a diagram of the location of object on the site, and you can see really, really simple pictures, like we will create like really simple pictures in the beginning, and then it will go to the really, really nice and beautiful design. And yeah, so you have some like spots. Here is my garden, here is my house, here is my shade, and so on. And then we think about routes, roads on the site. Where will you go most often? These are the main roads of the movement. For example, house, parking lot, house, garden, house, chicken coop, and so on. Where should you have a convenient access, although not so often? It will be secondary roads. And where should there be access several times a year? It's like third roads, and we can just put them on the plan. And for this step, we don't think about, oh, it's nice or not. We just connect the what we need, and then on the next steps we will make it more nice, and we will think how we can make a path. It's not a path, it's just a connection, so we will change it on the next step. Yeah. And also we can see how, like, from the simple picture it goes to more like nice picture with some bushes, and with some like lawns, rounded lawns, and so on. And also we will talk about not only functional part but also like aesthetic part of the garden. So we will learn something about landscape design, also how to make it nice, ornamental, and so on, because we don't only want like harvest, we want to rest, we want to enjoy our garden. So it will be also part of our course. Yeah, and I want to remind you that it's really practical course, and this course setup aims to actively engage and involve you during all sessions. So we have 50% of practice, 25% of theory, and 25% of design your own life and individual work. And yeah, and we have prices here, and we have really good conditions for students and really nice rooms for them. You can have single room, you can have W room. So if you're feeling the call for a change, we are here to welcome. And what should you do? You can fill the application on our website, and you can read more information about us in this application. So please think about it and read it carefully, so you can make a conscious decision, conscious choice. And you need to pay a deposit, and then I will call you to discuss all the details about our course. So yeah, it's all I want to say for today. Thank you very much. And yeah, Bob, do we have question in the chat? And I'm ready to finish if not. Okay, okay. So see you next Friday. And yeah, you can watch our video about rare fruit crops. It was previous Friday. So you can also find in our yeah, in our pages. And please join us next Friday at 2 o'clock, and you can get more useful information about permaculture. See you next Friday.